Hey, I'm Joe Ryan, and I'm here with the Music District, discovering new music and pioneering music's future in Web3, one broadcast at a time. Let's go.
Now you feel like you're a person in motion, and you got that little spring in your step. You're not hungry, leave those scraps on the table. Your mind keeps repeating all those things that she said. Think you're loved, think you're loved. Now you feel like you're a person of promise, and you got that little shit-eating grin. Check your phone, hoping that she's gonna write ya. Your mind keeps repeating all those things that she said. Think you're loved, think you're loved, think you're loved.
Yeah, man.
5, 4, 3, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining tonight's guest, Mr. Joe Ryan. Funded a full album without using nothing but a community in Web3. His story is one every independent artist needs to hear. Welcome to the Music District. This is Artist Spotlight, and I am your grateful host, Rollo. And here at the Music District, we're more than just a music platform. We're a community stage where the stories behind the music truly come to life. On Artist Spotlight, we dive into the stories and the inspirations of the artists we feature, because the story, more than music, is what truly connects us all. Tonight, we're broadcasting straight from the virtual stage right here on TikTok Live, where storytelling replaces advertising, community replaces the algorithm, and your engagement drives discovery of the best independent artists. On-chain, off-chain, on TikTok, and everywhere else. Before we jump in, a big shout out to our partner Brainstorm, the visual wizards powering the virtual magic behind the Music District. They give the artists the stage worthy of their stories and helps fans connect in ways that the old industry couldn't even imagine. And together we're redefining and reimagining what music discovery means for both independent artists and fan experiences. So drop a comment, tell us where you're tuning in from, ask a question to Joe, and while you're at it, tag an artist you follow whose story you'd love to hear on an upcoming Artist Spotlight. Tonight we're shining a spotlight on a working class poet with a sound carved out of 5 decades of grit. Joe Ryan. From busking the streets of Chicago to topping alt charts, country charts, Joe's journey is raw, lived in, and unapologetically independent. But here's where it gets wild. Joe didn't rely on labels, gatekeepers, or industry approval. He funded an entire record album through NFTs, built community on-chain, and showed the world how far authenticity and independence and strategy could really go. He calls his sound tavern music, and the soul behind it is undeniable. And we're honored to have him here inside of the Music District. So let's welcome our dear friend and artist, Joe Ryan. How you doing, Joe?
You have me all hyped up right now.
Let's go, Joe!
Wow.
You know,
You
people
are
are
getting
here.
me
They
all-
want to know.
Me verklempt.
Yes, sir, man.
Dude,
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for having me on. Thank you.
That's what it's about, man.
You got me.
Yeah, I
got
mean,
fired.
I appreciate you coming, man, and being here with us, sharing your story. We have some great questions lined up. And let's start with the very first question. Let's jump right into it. Was there a moment that you could share when you realized you didn't need a traditional music industry anymore? That moment when you said, I could do this my way.
Well, I think any artist says they can do it my way. I mean, you kind of just have to. You have to define it your own way, and let's face it, like today, nowadays, I've never had label interest. I just do what I do, and it's been a slow, long journey. And artists just do it because they love it. But um, to really, really do it, you have to really be conscious of your time and like um, I don't know. To answer the question, when did I know? I guess I'm still trying to know. You just do it. I don't know. You
Yeah,
just do it.
I think
Fuck
that's
them.
right. I mean, nobody ever knows, right? Until it's done, until it's over.
It's never done. It's
I
never done.
know.
It's never
God, I
done.
wish it
And
was. I wish there was a time.
I think don't you ever hear the stories like the artist that finally makes it, the actor that finally makes it, the whoever, whatever artisan finally makes it, and they get there and they're not happy because
Hmm.
they think that this thing, this final thing that they're going to get to that they've been driving for is going to change everything, and really it's just life. So it's the journey, right? So be
Yeah.
happy in the journey, and you better be happy about doing what you're trying to do, and don't expect anything. Like you can't have any expectations. You can have a little hope, but
Yeah.
it's just the journey, whether you whatever you consider making it or not. That's different for everybody, but it's just the journey. So enjoy
Yeah.
it. Don't expect anything, and just grind, man.
Yeah. Keep grinding and don't stop grinding. And you got to go through the good. You got to go through the bad, and that's the hardest part. It's. I wish it was
Yeah.
just all easier, don't you?
Uh, yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I don't think that's reality. It's just not
Y-
reality.
Yeah. I know. I know. There
I
is a
guess there's
certain.
some lucky people. There's some the right. There is a little bit of. There's a couple things. You can be in the right place at the right time and get picked up by the right person that just loves you. That
Mhm.
is in a position to put you somewhere. Um, and but you can't really get to that position unless you're just
Yeah.
putting in the effort.
Yeah. Joe, can you hear me?
Look, there's a lot that I did. I did a lot of due diligence on you, Joe, and you're a very interesting person. You publicly shared something online that I feel like really identifies a soul, right? A reflection of your hardships growing up. You shared you were adopted, and
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
there's so much more authenticity um, of going through the hard times when you're younger as opposed to going through the hard times when you're older because you have the mental a little bit of a stronger mental stamina when you get older. When you're younger, you're kind of just spiraling, looking for that answer. Whether, like for me, I was not adopted. I lost my father. I had a major life stage happen to me, and it really shaped me with who it is that I was. How did that shape your sense of identity as an artist?
uh, I think for me, at least for me as an adopted kid, I mean, I knew I was adopted from I was adopted at birth, and I always knew I was. And for me, I just always felt like I was completely loved and chosen, that kind of thing. But for many people, they feel the opposite, maybe.
Yeah.
So I think there's still a sense of me that I want acceptance. I want people to love me. I definitely had some abandonment issues that I didn't even know I had until I was in
Mm,
my 30s. Probably I figured out, my wife actually helped me figure it out, that I had abandonment issues. And so I got into a little bit of therapy for that. And I figured that
yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's why I do that. And that's why I do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just there's an overwhelming thing like you perform, and like I love live performance. Do I need to be some big rock star? That's not really my thing, but I do
Right.
love the sense of getting a love, and you can feel energy and acceptance, and it's neat to inspire and be
You
inspired.
know, um, did music ever become a space where you could explore sort of that the questionings and the belonging of and that abandonment that weren't easily spoken aloud or growing up, but you were able to sort of transcend that into a lyric or a song. And what song would have that been?
Uh, I have Not really. I mean, I write songs as like characters in books, and I
Hmm.
think young songwriters definitely write about, oh, my broken heart, or this
Yeah.
personal experience. And where I'm at the past 20 years, I just write stories, and they're loosely based maybe on a combination of characters and things. But I think there is one lyric in a record I put out in 2008 called Sister of the song. And sweet little girl adopted to a home, felt abandoned by her mama. She felt all alone, sat on her bed, ate her troubles away, um,
Mm.
blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, there are,
What album was that? Was that
that's
on
an
Daddy's Head
album.
Hurts or?
No,
Yeah.
no, that's an album. I had a band called the Additives in the mid
Mm.
2000s, and it was myself, my wife, and a drummer. And
Oh, I
so
didn't know
I
your
put out a
wife was an
couple
artist
records.
as well. Your wife's a singer?
No, she's a classically trained pianist. She plays piano and accordion. We don't play anymore together, really, because we have kids and got expensive to. We don't gig. Like she doesn't really have a. I love going out and playing gigs and stuff for the most part, but her gigs are like she's usually playing church and uh, making the real money
Yeah.
playing for the Lord. Um, So, yeah, we don't really play, but yeah, she's a classically trained pianist. My kids both play piano, my little kids, and yeah. So did that
That's
answer the
interesting
question?
because you said you grew up in Rock Falls, Illinois, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
In your late teens, right? You left college early, those years of gritty work. What I'm saying, really, work that I got to tell you, a younger generation just doesn't have that grit anymore. So the authenticity of the music from this older generation, call it Gen X, is
Yeah.
100% a different vibe than some of the new music, but it's definitely a little bit more authentic. And now with AI coming in and adding its layer of unauthentic sound, like unauthentic creation, I think it takes away from it. And over time, it will. The fact that something is human made, human written, will be the utility of music. You know, you busked, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Bus
Um,
Chicago. Yeah. For a
yeah,
couple,
and I mean, what
3
was that?
summers.
How did that build you up? Like the how did that build you up as an artist? I mean, how did it carve you into the person you are now with the sound that you have? Did you always sound this? Because when we first met, I think it was like 3 years ago, right at NFT NYC,
Mhm.
and I heard you for the very first time. I was thrown for a loop. I think I might even came up to you after the show, right? And I was like, Joe, that was absolutely incredible. Like I've never expected to hear or be in the presence so early in Web3 with such great talent. But how did that gritty work for you, or whether it's just mentality? Did it help you become a stronger artist to be able to hear the many no's that we all hear as artists? Did it allow you to give you the fortitude to keep going? That background and that history that you have down in Rock Falls.
Rock Falls. Yeah. I mean, growing up working on local farms and mowing yards and digging ditches and shoveling shit and
Yeah.
but I always like to work. I always there's two types of people, people that like to work and people that don't really like to work. And I don't I like tasking and getting stuff done. I mean, did it change did doing that stuff? I don't know. I think it, maybe it's exemplary of like just like the keep going, keep going, keep going,
Yeah.
keep going. No recognition, keep going. Like,
It's
uh,
interesting.
yeah.
Like you, I mean, I had a lot of jobs growing up. One of my jobs, from caddying to a waiter to a maitre d to a landscaper to a gardener. Um, what I learned from that at a very early age is how disinterested, genuinely, you know what I'm saying, when working for somebody. I mean, there was a caddy bathroom. That's like at the ninth hole. Caddies use that bathroom. Members use that bathroom. Very segregated, very discriminatory. No matter how nice of a guy I might have been, no matter how good of a caddy maybe I was being, right? You were treated almost in a silo of how most members treated caddies, and it sort of replicates life itself, right? Like, one point I caddied for a semi-pro. His name, I'll never forget his name, Mr. Rich Hand, and him and I, that was his name. And he was great. And we got to that ninth hole, and he's like, "You sit with me. Come on, hang out here." And I was like, I mean, I was caddying for 4
Not
years
allowed
now.
to.
Yeah, and he's like, "No, no, no, no. You're sitting with me." And the looks and the vibes that were being sent to him, like, he can't be sitting here, type of thing. At an early age, I must have been 18, 17, 18, 19 years old. I realized that it's not what you sometimes do. It's really finding the genuine people that exist that you could share moments with, rather than trying to appease everybody. And that, for me, in songwriting, was the secret. You write music for yourself. I don't
Yeah.
write music or lyrics for others to like it, right? I get it.
Yeah.
That's how it
Yep.
defined me. That's how it grew. So there are moments along those ways. Like, for example, the Fender Stratocaster you won in 1989, right? Autographed by Jeff Beck and Stevie Ray Vaughan. What
Yep.
did that moment unlock anything for you? That must have been an absolute incredible experience for you.
Yeah, I always wanted a guitar, but I was working for minimum wage, and I'd gotten
Yeah.
myself back into college. I was going to college full time, and I was working full time at a metal refinery in Phoenix. It was hot, in a
Oh man.
gold and silver refinery. So uh, I always wanted one. I wanted one, and I didn't have the money to get a guitar. And
Hmm.
a long story short, I won a guitar in a radio contest, and then it was like, oh, I'm going to learn this, and
Yeah.
everything else was out the window. Besides having figured out what I wanted to go to school for, I had flunked out of a number of colleges, but I finally got my ass through it. And you the grit, right? Like, you have to work your way through college. You have to work a job. You got to pay back the loans. You got to shit. I mean, you better hope. Well, and I don't know if the college is for everyone. I don't believe you have to go. I mean, 30% of all college graduates these days don't. Only 30% get a job. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
the grades are good. But the
Hmm.
hardest part about college for me was like getting the classes and doing the paperwork and the financial aid and trying to get a loan. And you had to do that all yourself. There was no online anything. You had to stand in
Yeah.
line and get that was harder than the classes. It was
Yeah.
like, uh, honestly, it was harder than the classes.
Yeah.
Besides college algebra, like, I think I took that 6 times. Here's the ticket to get through college. Here's the Joe Ryan ticket to get through college.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you got a subject you hate, now
Yeah.
don't take this, but this is what I do. If you got a subject you absolutely hate, get an
Yeah.
A for exactly 60% of the class, and then never go back to class, you get a C.
See, you could have been roommates.
Yeah, totally.
You
I don't
know,
know if that would have been a good idea.
probably not a good idea. You're probably right. You spent nights watching a lot of Blues Masters,
Yeah,
Buddy Guy's Legends, right?
yeah, yeah.
What did you take us back to Joe in the audience, and tell us what you learned from being that close to the greats?
Oh, yeah. Well, the main thing is how to control a room, how to be a showman. Like, I'm not a super showman, but
Yeah.
that aspect of performing, like, there's artists that require a quiet room and a listening room. That's cool. That's
Mhm.
them. But
Right.
I watched the masters work a room, whether it's Buddy and his 100-foot guitar cable,
Mhm.
walking out in the crowd, whether it's like the high, the low, the high, the tempo changes,
Mhm.
speed changes within a verse, the bring it up, it's loud, crack it down to like a whisper. And those
Mm.
are all like little techniques. And I use those techniques continually because when you're performing and you have a hot room, like I'm not some big rock star. I'm performing in taverns or smaller 300 and lower capacity clubs. But if you have a hot room and it's talking, well, it's your job. Well, it's your job like to sell beer and make people have a good time, right? Like we're here to have fun. We're not
Right.
here to necessarily watch me. You're here in this establishment. It's my job. You've hired me for us to all have fun. So we're going to have fun and play music. You're going to have fun and do your thing. And along the way, we're going to try to connect. And it's not my job to tell you to be quiet. It's my job to get enough of your attention where you stop paying attention to what you want to say and you start paying attention to what's being performed. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of tricks, and working at Buddies is you could see those masters, how they can snap a room down to nothing, like to
Mm-hmm.
there could be 300 people in there, absolutely quiet, no one talking.
Right.
When you do that, when you're and that's the game every single time. Can I
Yeah.
get a non-listening room to become a participatory room and be listening and engaged? And they're not always going to be engaged, but can I get that 2 or 3 or 4 times in a night? If you can get it once, that's great. If you can get 2 or 3, that's a pretty good night. If you can get it till it's a palm of your hand by the end of the night, you really had a good night. And they had a good time
Mm-hmm.
too. So you can't like put you can't I've seen artists try to tell an audience what to do. I've seen an artist get mad that they're not listening to them. Well, look,
Yeah.
Cupcake, it's your job to have those tricks to do that, and that comes through performance and performance. That comes through just there's tricks, and you got to, and it takes years to develop them, and
Mm-hmm.
there's techniques to it. And when I was a young songwriter, uh, and I primarily have always just played my own stuff. What I mean, like there's plenty of cover bands and cover people. And if you want to make a living, you're going to need to do that. If you want to make a living as a musician, you're going to need to be some tribute band because that's the only people getting hired, right? Unless you get to this next level, the songwriter level,
Man, yeah.
and maybe you can get some money behind you. Maybe you can get some publicity behind you. It's all bought and paid for, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what a label does for you, and that as an independent, you're going to have to figure out how to do. But there's just those techniques, and it's done through years of failing. Really, I mean, years of failing. When I was
Yeah.
going to say when I was a young songwriter, like you had a hot, busy room. It's like the room's loud. I'm going to play hot and loud. Well, I'm going to be with them. No,
Yeah.
like the trick is to do exactly opposite of what the room is doing. If they're hot and loud, go hot, loud, quiet. Go
Mm-hmm.
quieter, 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 quieter,
Mm-hmm.
quieter, and you'll listen to the room come down, down, down. Because the people that are listening, maybe they're having a conversation, but they're still kind of listening out of the other ear. They're gonna hang on. I just want you can bring them down through your tempo and through your stage volume or your voice and your and how you're going to move the pocket within a song,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
I love
those are
that.
the tricks. Yeah.
I what though, you bring a good point from an artist perspective, and I guess that's kind of where I come in because we're redefining what fandom is, right? Like fandom of the 80s and the 90s is a little bit different than the fandom of today in independent music. And
Yeah.
I believe that to your point, there is a level of presentness that we need to have as fans and in life in general, right? Where the more you are present, whether in conversations or in the audience of a show, uh, the more powerful that conversation or the more powerful that experience is for the fan. So fans have complete control over their experience with the music. Joe, your music carries without a doubt a weathered working class truth. Are you
Yeah.
writing to heal, to testify, or to document?
I write what I know. I mean, like someone, uh, either I read it or someone told me.
Yeah.
Until you start writing what you're not authentic. So, I mean,
Hmm.
everyone starts out trying to be someone else, their favorite
Yeah.
artist, their favorite. Like I used to make songs that sounded like Wilco. I used to do prog rock stuff. I used to, but None of it was really truly authentic. And then it's like you were saying at the top of the show, you're writing for yourself. So like you could be a sync writer, you could be a writer that's writing for television or sync, or those are different types of things. Pure like songwriting stuff, whatever you would consider that, your original music that you're just making for you. The more you dig in and don't give a shit about what people think, like the easier it is, and the more you
Right.
dig into your experience or experiences that you love or experiences that you're taking in and writing to that, I think it's just you just write what. And once I
Yeah.
started writing what I know, the songwriting got a lot better. Once you start be not when you start becoming you and not becoming something else. Oh, they people like this, I'm going to do that. Oh, people like this beat, I'm going to do that. People like this kind of music. Oh, I'm going to be art. Don't do that. Just dig
Yeah.
in. Dig in and be shitty. It's okay to be shitty. You're going to be shitty for a long time. I'm still fairly shitty. I mean, they're not, they all don't make the rotate the gig list.
Right. Right.
They
Right.
when you're out when you perform, the greatest way to figure out if a song is good or not is get your ass out and perform it, and get your ass out. If you're learning, go to an open mic and fail. Go to open mic and suck. Like just
Right.
don't like try. You're gonna fucking suck. You're gonna be
Yeah.
horrible. You're gonna have to do it, but you'll get better. You'll get slowly
Yeah.
better, just like sports or
I like
anything else.
that. I
So
like that so
you
much
have
with
to.
everybody that's building out there, right? Like everybody's trying to be perfect.
Everyone said, "Well, what
Um,
people are trying to be what they're not." Like once you're
mm,
if you're trying to be what you really ain't, then you ain't. When you
right.
are trying to be, if you are just being who you are, it just 100% will come through. So I'm not saying be an asshole. I'm saying just be comfortable, be yourself,
I
and don't
believe
apologize for being yourself, man.
I believe it. And I think that's why people fall in love with artists because it's their authenticity. And I've said this before because sometimes people have a hard time being as authentic as a song. And so when an artist is truly authentic in the music that they're making, they can connect with it because they kind of want to be more authentic with themselves.
Or they're
And
finding something in it that they're identifying with, or yeah,
yeah, I just
100%.
yeah, yeah. Dr. Bruce says repetitions is the mother of all skill. He's
Yeah,
got some real good sayings, man. Dr. Bruce, I love what I'm learning a lot from Dr. Bruce the last couple of months here since we've been going
he's
on TikTok Live.
one of the first guys I ran into in Web3, and he had like a buy the dip song. This is so cool. Before anyone had all the crypto songs, he had one, and it's really good. And I bought a piece from him maybe a year or two ago, and he's a big man, but he's super talented, and I've always appreciated. But there's another guy that's just like pretty authentic. Uh,
100%.
Take them or leave them, whatever, and just
Yeah,
out working really hard, whether in the space or outside of the space, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
repetition. You got to put in the laps, man.
Yeah. You have to put in the reps and the lessons, right? Like how are you learning if you're not falling down all the time? How are you learning how to get up if you never fall? Speaking of life lessons, do you return like you got a nice little setup there? I love it. I have a little setup myself. I call it the shed. It's where I am just away from my computer, away from tech. You know.
I don't know, and I'm not like a super prolific writer. I like to write I generally write in batches, and
Okay.
then I don't write for a year or two, and then I'll write some more, and then I don't
Mm,
write for a year or two. And like I feel like I'm always writing by listening. I don't even listen to much music, honestly, hardly at all. I hardly even listen to any music. I just
mm,
kind of am thinking about things, and I'm really writing. I'm listening and I'm observing,
yeah.
and maybe I'm jotting some things down, but I'm not a prolific writer because I only have so much capacity. So you write a batch of songs, now you're going to have to bring them all the way through fruition. You're also working out in clubs and stuff, and then you're also working a day gig, and you also have family. So like I'll just write in batches. I don't worry about like if you haven't even put the full effort into 10 songs, what do you need 10 more for? You know what I mean? Like you see it through. I mean, I like to just everyone's different. Like I don't need Like I'm not writing beats.
Hmm.
I'm like crafting like full songs. Like being a producer style stuff, that's much different than kind of what I do. Um, and it's probably produce is probably a little more fun than what I do, but I just kind of observe and I don't write that
Chat.
much.
Joe, was there ever a song bouncing off of that that maybe you were too scared to write, or maybe you wrote it and you were just too scared to release it because it was just maybe too revealing or too real for you?
I I don't write. My personal business really isn't in my songs.
Okay.
I just there might be a line that's applicable, but it
Mm-hmm.
ain't a story.
Yeah.
When Springsteen wrote like about driving the car, like he didn't even have a license. So
Right.
uh, I make stories. And but there are some truths like you broke that table like it was a sin to be living. Yeah, there was a table broken, my friend, and that happened in my life. But maybe
Yeah.
the very next line was someone else's life or some
Right.
other thing I saw. It's not all
Mm.
it's very, very, it's not self reflective. It's not about me.
When tell us a little bit about the switchyard sessions and when that broke through. Did that validate you or redirect you? Let everybody knows. Let everybody know what switchyard sessions is. For those who are just joining, we're here with Joe Ryan here on Artist Spotlight. Please be sure to share the live, comment, engage. This is how we support independent artists. But yeah, I mean, so
Yeah,
switchyard sessions. What do you think? Did it validate, redirect, and let people know what exactly was switchyard sessions that
right.
broke?
Right. It's like there I put it out and I mean it never broke. I think people
Yeah.
are enjoying it now because it's a really fine record. But, actually that is when I first started writing songs, um, that are not trying to write for anyone else. If you go to additive stuff, 2008 era, 8, 9, 10, there was still I still there's still some of that material that I play today,
Okay.
because it is authentic, but the stuff that really wasn't authentic, it's never it doesn't see the light of day anymore.
Mm.
So Switch came out, we had toured my wife and I had toured the country. We did, for a summer, we did 36 shows. This is when off an Additives record, not Switch. We did this is 2008 or so, something like that. We did 36 shows in 42 days in 22 states and lived in a van and played all over the country. Right? I mean, we played from East Coast to West Coast, right? Up and down, left and right. And when I got back, it's like, okay, it's time to write another record. It's like, I really need to get a deal here. And at the
Yeah.
time, really, the recession hit, right? It was complete recession. I had already sold all but one guitar, and we're in a van. Um, so Switch hit when I came back. Um, I wrote a number of songs, but we toured. We did a number of shows with
Now, Switch is the name of the group
Switch Art Sessions is the name of that record. The
record.
backing band up behind me on that record, my wife is on half of that record when she was still playing. She plays accordion and piano on that,
Mm.
or organ or whatever. But half of the record was written in 2012, I think, 2013, 14. And then the other half was written about 3 or 4 years later, after someone had heard it and asked about doing a sync licensing thing for it. And the engineer at the time like gotten out of music, like we had kind of crashed. The band had disbanded. It was just me and my wife. The recession hit, and even then, on the road, it's like I won't buy your CD, but I will buy your T-shirt because I can just hear you streaming. Oh, okay,
Mm.
wow, shit. So, but anyway, Switchyard, I we did about 8 shows with two brothers called the Payton brothers out of Indiana, and one played bass and mandolin, and the other played guitar. They're both great writers, and
Wow.
now they're just really amazing. Now, and Jason Payton has an amazing record right now. You should interview him. He's an amazing dude. But Switch came out. I'm like, I got these songs. Let's go to Bloomington. We played a number of shows through Indiana with them, and we always said, hey, I'm going to come down and I'm going to cut a record with you guys. So I came down with some gear with an engineer. We set up in a little house called the Switchyard House,
Mm.
and they have like live shows out of the Switchyard for years now, like a Sunday acoustic, no microphone shows, kind of potluck hippie stuff. But we came down, we set up for a weekend, and we recorded half a record, and then it sat. It was finished and sat, wasn't mastered, and then a sync license thing came along. Nothing ever happened of it, and it started like, I mean, I haven't heard that in a while. And we had had a child, and I was into vintage motorcycles, like just wrenching on vintage motorcycles. I thought, oh, maybe I'm done. And then that kind of made me start listening to that record. And then I said, Jamie, the engineer, I said, man, someone just called about sync licensing on this particular song. He's like, I told you, God damn it, when are we going to finish the second half of that record? Let's go. So we backed it up, and this is 5 years later. I said,
Wow.
I called down to Bloomington, Indiana. I said, hey, you guys, who's around? I'm going to come down and finish that record.
Right.
And all the guys were still there, same house. And I drove into the yard, pulled in the driveway, and there's the chicken, Babe, the chicken that's on the cover on the front porch. And it's like, yep, nothing's changed here. In fact, I was listening to a Sunvolt record that was out at the time. I pulled in, I'm listening to Sunvolt. I turn off the car. I open the door, there's the chicken, and then what's on their radio? Sunvolt. And I'm like, okay,
Wow.
yep, nothing's changed here. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
You know,
I finally, but I put it out. I sold off all my motorcycles to put it off. I sold all my tools. This was filled with 7
wow.
motorcycles in here. I sold all that shit off. I'm like, and my kids aren't going to understand motorcycles. I have a sweet ass race bike that I've built from scratch. But you know what? I'm going to go back to. I'm getting distracted here, and I can't do both. And so let's get. And I sold that for 3 or 4 grand and put out Switch, but nothing happened with it. Right? Like I
Amazing.
couldn't even get radio with it. So.
Did you meet your wife in music?
No, I met her at a bar called Bernice's Tavern in the south side of Chicago.
You know, how do you maintain that integrity, even as just a human, where you don't end up hating the world for not responding or to the efforts and the energy that you're putting into the music? Because I feel like that is something that a lot of artists experience.
Fucking don't expect any recognition. Like they say, right? Recognition is earned, right? So once you start expecting it, you're screwing yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
Like once you start, you can. I'm not saying I haven't,
Yeah.
but if you're in that mindset, like, well, these people better listen to me, or why won't they have me into this venue? Well, you know what? Either you're not good enough, they're not your thing, move on, get over it.
Right.
You don't get a participation trophy. Buck up, buckaroo.
Yeah. Growing up in high school and college, the girl that you like somehow liked you more if you showed her less attention. Now, you sold an NFT collection to fund Midwest Boy, which was
Yeah.
100. I mean, which is absolutely amazing. What surprised you most about the collectors who believed in you?
Honestly, I did everything 100% the wrong way, and the collectors, many are still around, but many have since left. But all they ever wanted to do was support. They're like, Joe, we don't want all these extra NFTs. We don't give a shit about these. We don't want you to sweep the floor. We want you to keep the money, and we just want to support you. And really, that's when it's like there's flippers and there's collectors, and people that are kind of like connect with you and your actual music and your journey. They just really, it's kind of a Patreon of so to speak, but it's at least an asset that they have, and it's super. We're years away before anything's like worth anything.
Right.
I think.
Now, you turned. I agree with that 100%. Did you turn a single? I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but was there a single that was equivalent to like 1 million streams?
Well, yeah, all of them. I sold like 14 copies or 20 copies or something of Corner Tap on OpenSea contract, and I sold that out like 10 pieces or something, or 14, and it was whatever that was, like $1,200 or something. And at the time, that's like, oh wow, that's like 1 million streams.
Yeah. Amazing.
And yeah, so I mean, the streaming. I mean, well, don't get me going, but YouTube Music will be the only place where artists will be releasing music, because it's the only place they can actually monetize streaming, and it's the only thing that pays remotely close to radio. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, why I'm seriously thinking about this new record of not putting it on streaming and only having it on YouTube. I'm not sure
Yeah.
about that yet, but YouTube Music, and even the CEO said we are positioning ourselves. We want to be the place where independent artists put their music because it actually does. It's zero
Yeah.
point zero 0.01, which is not 0.003,
Right.
4,
Like,
2.
is it worth?
It's a
That's such
difference.
an interesting thing. Like, not putting it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Because you're creating music, you want to release it, but yet you're releasing music on platforms where you're making cents, right? So
No, tenths of cents,
cents, right?
300th of a cent.
Hmm.
Look,
Incredible.
the streaming side, look, it's all bought and paid for, right? Like the game, I've done it. It's just a strategy. I'm going to get more exposure.
Yeah.
Not really. You're if you pay for exposure and if you're going to drive playlisting there, and you don't own that. I mean, you were going to pay to get those vanity points. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I can do some submit hub shit. And for $50, I can show you I have 1,200 listeners a month. And in 30 days, when that's off the list, I'll be back down to 37 listeners a month.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me, I mean, is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, I think
Where would
YouTube.
you like to direct people who are listening now for you? Like, what would be a good engagement statistic for you to really measure or really to drive people to hear your music? What platform would that be?
Well, if you want me to get paid, go to YouTube Music.
Okay.
Listen
Okay.
to albums on YouTube Music. Listen to your favorite artist, their recorded music on YouTube Music. And if you have a premium subscription to YouTube Music, one, you can watch all kinds of YouTube shit uh,
Yeah.
ad free. But two, you can have it on two devices. You can still do your video watching, your podcast watching, whatever, your cat video watching, on what's it? But you can still have the music, the YouTube Music, two different things under the
Mm-hmm.
same under the same subscription. You can do them
Right.
both at the same time. If you want to support your favorite music, your favorite musician, and you want them to monetize, um, if you have a premium subscription, they'll get 0.01 per play. And dude, it's you can get 420 nerd alert. A 3-minute song is around 420 plays per day. If you have a hundred people repeat playing your music
Yeah.
on a browser, that's if you have 100 people streaming, you're making a little bit of money on YouTube Music. Um, you'd make not even a third of that on any other platform. So
Yeah.
what's the use?
Go to Joe's link tree. I have it listed right here. I don't know if you could see it on our chat, but it's listed. It's link tree. It's a / Joe Ryan. You can catch his YouTube, his Spotify. Do you want to play a song, or do you want me to play a song for you? What are you feeling?
Oh, I'll play you a song. What song do you want to hear?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well,
Oh,
let's see. I mean, I would. Let's see. Right now, I've been listening to. Let me see. For everybody who doesn't know, Joe released an NFT today. Joe, you want to talk a little bit about that
oh, yeah.
before you play? Before you play, I mean, could you play
Yeah.
this song?
I think you should play the video of that song rather than me playing it. It's really a band song.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I could play it, but it's not as good as well, I mean, there's like acoustic driven songs, there's electric driven songs. But Think You're in Love it's about 140 hours of drawing, cutting, and hand animating, about at least 3,000 photographs, and then it's an old school stop motion animation and set to a song called Think You're in Love. And it's like I hadn't done anything mint-wise or just that stuff for a long time, for a year. And it's like, what if I'm gonna, if especially with AI the way it is, it's like, what? And I need a whole new, I need a series of videos for this record for next year. So it's like, I'm gonna sit down and make this shit. I'm just gonna draw it. And
Mm.
that's that's what I enjoy it, dude. I just go down and I don't turn on music. I don't, I don't, I just sit there
Mm.
in complete silence and draw and think and cut things out. And I'll make them little puppets. And I didn't really know how to do it. I mean, I went to art school. I'm an industrial designer by trade, so I'm
Huh.
a little bright with that stuff. But I'm like, what's in this selling art shit? What's the most authentic thing you can bring forward? Well, it sure as shit ain't is an AI.
Right.
I mean, in 6 months, I am absolutely sick of it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
oh wow, did Grok make you an image? Ooh, boy, that's amazing. But sit down and make some goddamn art. Like, use your hands, be authentic. I'm not saying anything against that. There's some amazing AI, but for me, it's like if I'm gonna like make something from hand, and I usually collaborate with a couple artists in the space. I'm like, not this time. I had commissioned an artist to do it who was a great animator and drawer and stuff, but he couldn't get to it. I'm like, what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
sit down and do it. And it took a few months. And I'm working on. I've just almost complete on the art for a second song, which will be called New Day, which is like a title track for this new record. I'll start shooting that here in a couple weeks. Actually, I'm going to borrow my mother-in-law's nice camera, set it up on the thing, and we're gonna shoot stop motion again. And I thought, what can make a statement? And one, no one really wants to see an old man playing music. It's not sexy. So there's a bias on age, right? If
I
you're
mean,
seeing someone play
I
music, there's
think I think
definitely
from an old perspective, Joe, that you might think that, but there's something that I get from an older artist that I could never get from a very much younger artist.
well, you're in my demographic and of my age demographic, but a 20-year-old, they'll watch a cartoon and listen to music before they'll watch someone that looks like their dad singing and playing, right? They're not going to get a kick out of that.
Right.
So
But I think it's
great
also
artist.
the type of music. Like, are people music fans, or are they like what does music mean to somebody? It means something different to everyone.
Everybody, yeah.
So I wouldn't count the younger generation out. I mean, look at Frank Sinatra,
No, 100%. And actually,
Johnny Cash.
I have data. I have data on, of course, on. I've done plenty of meta advertising. I've done plenty of like I nerd out in that type of stuff. Like I love advertising. I love digital marketing, and I thought, well, this will make one great short form content that's very unique and
Yep.
very identifiable. And if you look at like and all my research, and I'm always nerding out on this digital marketing stuff and all the strategy stuff for musicians and crap like that.
Hmm.
So it's like if you zoom out and look at a big artist, and you'll see an album release, that whole album and that whole series of whatever it is that they're releasing, it has an identity and a theme. Um, and it doesn't jump around. That album, like if you listen to Drake has a certain outfit, a certain style on a certain album. And then the next album could be completely different, right? Madonna had her glove, but the next album, she's a cowgirl girl or something. Like
Hmm.
the big, big artists, they'll plan their release. They'll have that music in the can for a year, and then they'll work a year on strategy and how they're going to identify or brand the entire album and what the theme is. So the theme of this album is definitely puppetry, stop motion, and just goofball shit. And that's my identity, right? That's what I'm going to use for short form content. That's what's going to drive all engagement. It's going to be all the same type of identity through the whole course of releasing singles, releasing a record. If that makes
I mean, it
sense.
stopped me scrolling in my tracks when I saw you building the stop motion, because I knew
That's
it
what it's
was.
supposed to.
Yeah, so it definitely worked. So let's kick into a song. Let's share it. We're here with Joe Ryan on Artist Spotlight. Thanks for everybody who's joining. Be sure to share this live. Let's share the story of Joe. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy Joe Ryan.
All right, but fuck it, I'll play it. I never play it. Not on acoustic.
Now you feel like you're a person in motion, and you got that little spring in your step. You're not hungry, leave the scraps on the table. Your mind keeps repeating all those things she said. Think you're love. Think you're love. Now you feel like you're a person of promise. And you got that little shit-eating grin. You're not hungry, leave those scraps on the table. Your mind keeps repeating all those things that you said. Think you're love. Think you're love. Think you're love. Now I feel like you're a person of promise, just as nicely as you like it. You still have those doubts that are creeping away. Think you're love. Think you're love. Think you're love. Here's the solo where the alien spaceship comes out. Let's get some drinks, I got a band, I think you'll like them. I guess next Thursday is gonna be a thing. Think you're love. Think you're love. Think you're love.
Yeah.
Space
Dude.
diverse there, but yeah.
Joe, right on, Joe.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing and your talents and that voice, Joe. It's one of my favorites in and out of Web3. Has building directly with fans deepened your connection in a way that the old model never could?
Oh God, there was an old model. The model, like this model, like even this thing that I'm bringing out, like that's out today, right? You can buy this thing. You can buy this stop motion thing. It just came out today.
Yeah.
There's a free one for my existing holders. That's just for them on Ethereum. There's another one that's new to a new blockchain that I'm working on and just testing the waters. But how do you get it? Well, this first week, you have to give me your email. Because with an 1,100 piece Midwest boy, yeah, it took a year to solve. Yeah, it was hard. And it was the bear. And it was totally not fun. But at the end of this decentralized, not your keys, not your crypto, blah, 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 I can't connect with 0x1741861482997DA4. Who is that? Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if the person that's collecting you or investing in you or buying a piece of art from you, they can easily get disgruntled if you're not like having some kind of engagement or like, but how do you do that in a decentralized world? You can't. So it's like, well, I'm going to do something completely non-degen, non-decentralized. I mean, even though it is decentralized, right? And you will be able to be decentralized and buy it. Give me your email. Can you put your email, and then would you like to this week my 400 person email list? They're all they have to do is check if their email's on the list and click, and it'll make a wallet for you, and you can use your credit card. No crypto needed. Now, that's like a first step to get into something. And most people, a lot of times, that's all they want to do is like, what I'll do a crowdfund with you. What do you get? A sticker pack, a hat, a T-shirt? What's the shit you get? Well, this particular thing, you're going to get a piece of digital handmade art by myself.
Yeah.
But like, I can connect with an email. I can deeper a relationship with an email, but I can't do shit with X's and O's. Like, it's impossible. So it's like, what? We're going to start out the other way. We started out with Midwest Boy. It's X's and O's. How do you find a deeper connection, it's like, well, shit, you got to try to get these people to tell them who you are. Like, can you
Yeah.
join my email list?
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, why don't we start with the email list if you really want to connect, so we can connect. And so I can keep connecting with you. Like, I can get a hold of you, man. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to be playing over here. Oh, hey,
Right.
here's something free for you, or here, whatever it is. You
Yep.
can't do it.
But that's the utility that I don't think an old, like, even older or younger, those who aren't on chain understand the value, and the onboarding process is as much for them as it is for supporting your independence. And when this onboarding of purchasing this NFT, and for those who aren't in Web3, a non-fungible token. What is a non-fungible token? I think it's important that we educate the audience a little bit, because not everybody understands it. I mean, I'm in it, and I almost still don't understand it, right? Because it's constantly changing. But
It is
a
the text
non-fungible,
change.
yeah, it's changing every day. So for everybody who's watching, what is an NFT in very simple terms? No big words, no nothing. Very easy. You have $1 and I have $1. We exchange dollars. That is fungible. The value is the same. Now, you have a true Picasso. I have a Picasso that I drew. We exchange pictures, and the value is not the same. That is a non-fungible token. So what we're creating here are very unique. And Joe, I think you called it certified digital art.
Yeah, certified. That's exactly what it is. It's certified on chain. It could either be encrypted on chain. It could be stored in an IPFS server and served up to your like certified token. The token will be calling on a picture, or it could be inscribed in it. There's a bunch of different ways, but
Right.
yeah, it's certified though on chain. Just like if you're a baseball card collector, you get that thing certified, right? It's on a ledger, it's calculated, it's like it's been
Right.
authenticated.
There's only one of them.
Yeah, the blockchain authenticates this, does that stuff. So right,
Right.
you have a token, it's authenticated, and it'll pull in assets, and that you own, that you have that token, and whatever's associated with that token, whatever assets are associated with it, is yours. And you have I think of it as like a baseball card, or like buying a print from a photographer, something along those lines, right? You're not buying the master, you're not buying the painting, although you could, like, I could make a token and go, hey, this comes with a painting. I mean, whatever.
Right.
It's certified digitally on chain.
Be sure to share the live. Prime Omega's here. Prime, what's up, brother? I appreciate you sharing. We're here with Joe Rian. This is Web3 Artist Spotlight, and I'm really excited, Joe, to really just spend some QT time with you, man. What do you wish young artists understood about longevity?
Dude, quit expecting results.
Yeah, that seems to
Quit
be the theme.
expecting results. This ain't TV, dude. Like this. I don't know. I'm not a wise dude. I'm just an old dude. But I mean, I don't even have the answers to anything. I'm just doing what I'm trying to do. And I'm definitely not an expert. I've never been on a label. I just write songs, play shows, and just keep going through the journey, and with no expectation other than, you never know. Is a song going to hit? Well, it'll never hit unless you have some money behind it to market it and all that stuff. And so the independent musician today has to do all of it. Like, you're the marketing guy, you're the video guy, you're the website guy, you're the every guy. And I think most young musicians, they don't want to put in that kind of work, and you're going to have to, bro. And today's label, they're not going to pick up any artist that doesn't have TikTok, this amount of TikTok, this amount of IG, this amount, because they don't want to have to spend the money to do the marketing to get you there. But you can, there's ways to get, you can bot your IG. I forget what artist it was, a rapper, Chance the Rapper. I don't know. I messaged him and he responded to me, but it was like at 3 a.m. He responded back. It's like, girlfriend, that's a bot. Well, it's a bot. They're bots. They're smart. You want to grow. I know artists. I know one personal artist that does this. Nothing against it. It's how it's done. You can't you can't spend your time online clicking like and you just can't. How are you going to do anything? You put a bot in place that does that for you, that has an intelligent conversation that drives it. It's crazy. But yeah, it's like that's how it works.
Well, I believe
So,
it.
hey kid, you better get hip to all this shit because you're going to have to do it all as an independent. And
All of it. Or
yeah.
get more than half taken away and don't complain about it.
Dude, you want to take half of look, I love artists that complain about having a deal that they gave away half to, but now they can go, they have a brand that the label built. You sign the deal, but sometimes not all deals are bad, and sometimes if you give away half your shit to get your brand to be recognized on a X amount of scale, maybe that's a something you do want to do.
And
You
that's why I
remember the
think-
labels do take all the risk.
Yes.
They put up all the money, they take all the risk.
Joe, man,
Oh.
thank you for being here in the Music District. To everyone watching, follow Joe Rian everywhere. His link is up on the screen. Support the art that moves you. And if you're an artist that wants to be on Artist Spotlight, go to musicdistrict.io, add your name to the interview list, and be a part of the movement. Please follow this channel. Very important. Share it. I want to thank everybody who stayed locked in for the hour that we were here, because the next story could be the new favorite artist in your playlist. Again, the essence of what we're trying to do as a community, right? Like trying to push it out there, getting people just to discover you and your story. Because like I said, it's the story more than the music that connects us all. Definitely hit the follow. Next time we go live with another Artist Spotlight, you will be alerted. And I want to thank everybody for tuning into Artist Spotlight.
Hey, I'm Joe Ryan, and I'm here with the Music District, discovering new music and pioneering music's future in Web3, one broadcast at a time. Let's go.